Right. So let us start with the demonstration.
Okay.
So in this demonstration, we are going to discuss about agenda items like OLTP, OLAP system, and the differences between OLTP and OLAP. And then we can jump into the history of SAP BW. So first of all, OLTP system. What is meant by OLTP system? Anybody? What is meant by OLTP system? Right, OLTP system is nothing but it's an online transaction processing system wherein day-to-day transactions can be posted into the OLTP system. If you see this, there are different tables which have been organized and which are interconnected to one each other, right? According to the particular business scenario. So if you see this is the sales order scenario relevant tables. You have suppliers, shippers, orders, order details, products, and categories tables. So all these tables have been interconnected, and every table will have its own primary key and to apply join condition, right? So based on a particular business scenario, these tables have been interconnected. In the front end, when you have posted some sales order relevant information, then the information will come and store in the backend database tables according to this business scenario. So like this, every day in day-to-day life cycle, if you have posted sales order or purchase order or credit or debit, any posting in the ECC system, for example, that information will go and store in the background application base tables, right? So these records will be saved in the OLTP system database system, OLTP system database. So wherein, for example, from the morning to evening, the transactions have been posted, right, in the retail store. And end of the day, right, the corresponding store manager, he want to know about the sales revenue of that particular day. How he can able to get that information? How he can able to know the end of the day sales revenue information?
Like unit price multiplied by quantity.
Yeah, so is that end user like manager or storekeeper? So are they multiplying all these things in the night time to get the information?
No, I guess they should have a report which pulls that information, right?
Perfect. So on these tables, there will be some reports and they will just execute the report and they can able to get the information, right? It's a very simple mechanism. But here on these tables, what we can do is as a database developers, when they have implemented this database, they used to create some reports in the OLTP systems and they will execute those reports and they can able to analyze the company's data. So for example, so what are the products in shortage? So if they want to know about that, they'll just execute the respective report and they can able to get the entire information in fraction of seconds. And they will replace the goods in the respective racks automatically. Right. So these are the very easy tasks which can improve their ongoing business. Right. So here, all these OLTP reports, whichever they have, they can execute those reports and they can able to analyze the current day-to-day data. Right? They can able to analyze the current day-to-day data in their company. So based on that current data analysis, they can improve the business and they can run their business in a smooth way. Okay, that's the advantage of the OLTP report. And this store, let's say if you take a Walmart retail store, this store might contain a number of branches, right? Assume that in 1,000 locations we have Walmart retail store, right? And every location is maintaining one database system. So if that is the scenario, right, end of the day, CEO of the Walmart, he want to know about the sales revenue of that particular day. When I say CEO, he is looking for entire company sales revenue. So here 1,000 locations are there, every location relevant database system is there from the morning to evening, the transactions are being posted into the respective database system. So when I say sales revenue of that particular company, end of the day sales revenue, all 1,000 location sales revenues should be consolidated and the final figure should be provided to the CEO. How this is happening? Is a CEO getting the information from each and every manager of the respective location, and is he gathering all the information and consolidating it to know about the information? How it is happening in real environment?
He's getting a report wherein and that report will give him more details based on how much he wants to dig the data into.
So on 1,000 database systems, can we able to create a report? On
No.
No, right? Then how it is happening in real environment?
The data is aggregated into one system from combination of a lot of other systems, and then its data gets aggregated, and then a report is created based on that aggregation.
Excellent, excellent. So here, instead of maintaining the data in an individual system, so what we can do is when you want to analyze the data at the company level, we can pull entire information, this 1,000 locations database systems, and we can maintain the central storage location. That's called data warehouse, right? In the data warehouse, we can maintain the data of the entire company. So what we can do is from the morning to evening, the transactions will be posted into the OLTP system, and during the night time, we can schedule the batch jobs to load the data from those all 1,000 systems into this central storage location called warehouse. So every day the data will be loaded into warehouse system. On that warehouse components, we can create the reports, and those queries can be used by end users like top level management, who is going to take the decisions on their company, like CEO, CFO, CTO, and senior management of the company, right? They'll just execute those queries, they can analyze the data, and they can take the decisions accordingly. And here, another advantage is the queries which you are going to develop in the data warehouse components, you can able to analyze the data in multi-dimensional data point of view, right? If you observe, see, multi-dimensional data analysis is nothing but for some kind of queries we require to involve n number of dimensions in the analysis. For example, see, in France location, how many cars have been sold in quarter number Q3, right? So if you see how many dimensions I'm involving for this product type car and location France and time period Q3. So here I am involving 3 dimensions. So like this, I might require to involve n number of dimensions for a particular query analysis. So this OLAP systems, data warehouse system, supports multi-dimensional data analysis, and another advantage is entire company data analysis which will be possible using the data warehouse system. And another thing is, if you want to analyze last 15 years of data or 20 years back data, right, or last 5 years data, if you want to analyze that data, we can maintain entire data in the data warehouse system. That much of huge storage capacity will be there for data warehouse systems. But in OLTP systems, we can't maintain that much of data. At max, we might maintain 1 year or 2 years. At max, it is a worst case 5 years we can maintain in the OLTP system. More than that, we can't maintain in the OLTP system. We can archive the data. Otherwise, the OLTP processing will go down, right? So here OLAP systems are nothing but all data warehouse systems which we have in the market, everything will come under OLAP system. OLAP is nothing but online analytical processing, right? Online analytical processing systems. All the data warehouse systems will come under OLAP category, right? Here SAP BW will also come into OLAP category. SAP BW contains the data warehouse, right? In that data warehouse, we used to create some components, and we can pull the data from different database systems like OLTP systems into this SAP BW system, and we can create the queries on top of SAP BW warehouse. Now, if you see this, the entire architecture which we have discussed now in the real environment on day-to-day basis, like from in the client business hours, like morning 10 to 4 or 10 to 8, like that. In that business hours, the transactions will be posted into this OLTP system relevant databases, right? And we can maintain SAP BW warehouse, and we can create a number of components in the data warehouse in SAP BW. And we used to schedule the jobs to load the data in the night time from different OLTP system databases into your warehouse components. That here, the first responsibility of the SAP BW consultant is creation of the components in the data warehouse system. And second responsibility is connecting to OLTP systems and loading the data into your warehouse components on day-to-day basis. That's the second responsibility. And third responsibility is creation of queries on top of warehouse components. And those queries can be used by the end users for the performance analysis and business analysis. Okay, this is the architecture of the SAP BI projects, and as a SAP BI consultant, we will have these three primary responsibilities in the projects. Right? Any questions so far? Can you able to understand?
Yeah.
Cool. Now, see, as we discussed, there will be n number of Yep. Go ahead.
Krishna?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to know the basic difference, like, BO, BI and BW, because I was talking to this guy, I'm taking training on BO. He said BO, there's no BO anymore, it's BI 4.0, that's also BO.
We'll come to know that. We do have one slide for that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Right. See here, we will have n number of OLTP systems, and we can load the data from these OLTP systems into OLAP system enterprise warehouse. And while loading the data from these OLTP systems, we can implement the ETL process. ETL is nothing but E for extraction, extracting the data from n number of OLTP systems, and T for transformation. And while loading the data from the OLTPs to OLAP system, during the data transfer, we might require to implement some business logics. So those business logics and all we can implement in the transformation part. And finally, L for loading the data into different components, different layers of your warehouse system. So that's called ETL process. So within SAP BW, it contains its own ETL technology. We'll be discussing that ETL technology, detailed concepts in our regular session. So wherein ETL is nothing but when you want to extract the data from different OLTP systems into your warehouse system, we can implement this ETL process. And now moving on to SAP BW history. So here SAP BW fits into the information integration layer of SAP NetWeaver platform. And in this business intelligence, you will have the components like a data warehouse, BI platform, and business explorer. BI suite, business explorer. What it means, let's go in detail. So this is the detailed view of the SAP BW system. If you see this warehousing, the bottom layer, data warehousing, you can able to see different components. As a BI consultant, we need to know about each and every object properties and its configuration and which object need to be used in which scenario. All those things we should be familiar. And we need to create these objects in the warehouse system. After that, we can connect to different source systems. Source systems might be SAP applications or non-SAP applications. SAP applications are nothing but ECC, CRM, SRM, PLM. All these are SAP applications. And non-SAP applications are nothing but Oracle, Sybase, Ingress, DB2, MySQL, SQL Server, MS Access, all the other database systems other than SAP system. Those things will come under non-SAP applications. So we can able to connect to any kind of application and we can load the data into your data warehouse components. And while loading the data, we can implement this ETL process, extraction, transformation, and loading process while loading the data into the warehouse components. And here, once the data has been loaded into the warehouse component, we can able to create the queries on top of these components using the Business Explorer suite. SAP BI has its inbuilt reporting suite, which is SAP Business Explorer suite. In shortcut, we used to call it as a BEX suite. Right here, you will have a number of reporting tools. Using those reporting tools, you can able to create the queries on top of this BW components. And what about this administrator workbench? So as we have discussed, like during the night time, we used to schedule the batch jobs to load the data from these applications into warehouse components. To support the scheduling and monitoring of the jobs and administration of your data warehouse, everything can be done through administrator workbench, and everything will be GUI based, right? It's a graphical user interface based. You don't need to write even SQL statements in this SAP BW system. So even job scheduling and monitoring and administration of warehouse, everything can be done, everything can be operated via GUI interface. Okay, so here what we can do as a BI consultant, we can create the components in the warehouse, and we can schedule the batch jobs to connect to different systems and to load the data into these components as a second responsibility. Third thing is creation of the queries using this BEX suite on top of these components, right? So that's the overview of the SAP BW. And in our regular course, any SAP BI project or any SAP BI course can be divided into 3 parts, which will be modeling, extraction, and reporting. Even if you enter into any of the SAP BI BW implementation project, you will have these 3 areas: modeling, extraction, and reporting. Modeling in the sense creation of the components in the warehouse system, and we will be knowing about each and every object properties and how to configure that object and in which scenario that object need to be created. So that part we can discuss in the modeling concepts. And extraction in the sense ETL process of SAP BI BW, how to connect to the source systems and how to load the data into the BW system components. That config part we can see in the extraction concepts. And reporting in the sense we do have BEX suite, like a Business Explorer reporting suite. So using those reporting tools, how to create the queries on top of the warehouse components. That reporting concepts we can discuss in the reporting part. So these are the 3 parts and 3 responsibilities of SAP BI consultant. Any questions so far?
No, good.
Right. So did we get the basic idea? So what exactly SAP BI BW contains, and as a consultant, what exactly the roles and responsibilities you will have in real-time project? We got some idea, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Now, coming to the versions of SAP BW. So here in this slide, we can discuss about what is BO 4.0 and what is BI 4.0 and what is BW, BI, right? All these concepts are all these terminologies are a bit confusing for real environment. So why it happened? See, SAP BW 2.0, earlier for our SAP BW system, they have given the naming like BW 2.0, which is a business information warehouse in 1988. And BW 3.5 version has been released in 1985 and 1990 phase, and they have released the version 3.5. They have given the naming as business warehouse. Right? Before 3.5, they used to call it as a BIW, and from 3.5 they are calling it as a BW, business warehouse. And from 7.0 onwards, they are calling it as a business intelligence, BI, right? And BW has been renamed to BI from 7.0, and 7.1 and 7.2 releases also they use the same naming, business intelligence. But after 7.2 version, right, before releasing 7.3, SAP has purchased Business Objects company. Business Objects is nothing but it's an independent company which has developed a few reporting tools, right, to support a report. So to support the reporting based on different kind of systems, this normal business objects company, they have created their own reporting tools, and they got a very good market presence in that phase. And in 2008, SAP has purchased that business objects company. So they have worked on the business objects reporting tools, and they have done some modifications. They have added so many features, and in 2011, SAP has launched the version called 4.0 of the business objects. Before that, they have the BOXI 3.1. While purchasing the business objects company, business objects reporting suite version is XI 3.1. And after they have purchased, they have added few more concepts, and they have modified the existing interface and all, and they have launched the version called 4.0, right? BO 4.0. But they don't want to follow the naming convention of their old company, right? As this has been already purchased by SAP, they want to give their own naming. So that's why they have renamed from BO to BI. BI is nothing but Business Objects Intelligence 4.0, right? B for Business Objects, I for Intelligence. BI is nothing but Business Objects Intelligence 4.0. So in nowadays, when you see SAP BI 4.0, that is nothing but Business Objects 4.0 version, right? And as they have taken that name, that BI name for the Business Object Reporting Suite, and they want to rename the existing BI system to BW. So they have launched the 7.3 version with a few other concepts, and they have launched it as a BW, Business Warehouse. They have given the name back to BI, right? So that's why you're hearing like SAP BI, SAP BW, and SAP BI 4.0, BO like this. When you have seen BW 7.3 or BW 7.0, right, that is nothing but SAP BI BW system, right? And when you see SAP BI 4.0, that is nothing but Business Objects Reporting Suite. Got it?
So Krishna, we have BI, which is BO, and we
BI.
have BW also.
BI?
No, the business objects is called BI.
Business objects can be called as a BI.
Yeah, in other words, it's BOI.
Yes, it's a BO. You can say like a BO.
That's the business objects is nothing but your reporting thing.
Correct.
Okay. So, but how about business warehousing? It also exists as BW or BI?
Yeah, you can call it as a BW simply.
Oh, so BW is different. It's called BW exists and BI exists now.
See, BW, BI both are same actually, right? Earlier with respect to BW concepts. See, if you see this, BI 7.0, BI 7.12, and BW 7.3, right? So when you say SAP BI, BW, both are same, right?
Technically, BI and BW are same, intelligence and warehousing.
So yes, technically both are same.
As of today, BW is there.
Yes.
And technically, BI is nothing but BOI.
At this moment, when you see BI 4.0, right? If you have seen, if you see BI 7.0 in the real environment job descriptions, that is nothing but SAP BI BW. When you see BI 4.0, that is nothing but Business Objects Intelligence, which is BO.
Yeah, the 26 alphabets. Why are they confusing between I, O, and W?
It's their strategy actually. When you have purchased some company, right, they don't want to follow the old company naming convention.
Well, I understand, but why is BO called BI when I is again same as W?
BOI, why in the sense like those reporting suite also will give the insight of their company, right? Company data analysis. So it will completely deals with the BI tool, analytics, business intelligence analytics. So that's why they will not have any option instead of putting the BI. So that's why in the BI itself, they have taken B for business objects, I for intelligence.
Okay. So in BW, you said we have the extraction and reporting side also.
Correct.
So there is a different tool for reporting in BW?
Yes, That's a BEX suite, Business Explorer Reporting Suite.
Yeah, the BEX Analyzer, no, the other one.
Yes, BEX Query Designer, BEX Analyzer, all these are reporting suite of SAP BI, SAP BW.
So on the BO side, we have a different one, and on this side, we have a different reporting.
Correct.
So if you are working with HANA, so if you have both these things sitting on HANA database.
Yes, you can able to create the reports in SAP BW using the BEX suite. In business objects, you will have a different set of report tools like Webby, Crystal, dashboards. I think you might be hearing about this.
Using so in HANA again also you have reporting.
Yes. No? In HANA, independent reporting is there, in inbuilt reporting for HANA. And in addition to that, using the business objects reporting tools, you can able to create the reports on top of HANA.
Okay, it all depends on how we integrate with HANA, either BO or BW.
Everything has been integrated actually in real environment. If you see a BW on HANA implementation projects, generally HANA will act as a background database system for BW, and BW contains these models and all, and wherein entire data can be visualized using these models. On top of these models, we used to create the business objects queries. Right? On SAP BW models, we can create the business objects queries.
Okay, I get it now. Okay.
Right. So that's how everything is integrated. It's based on the client choice. Right. If they have taken this suite, then they can go for this kind of implementation. If they have taken only HANA system as their company's database system or warehouse system, they can create everything in the HANA system, and they can use the business objects. Yeah, from the scratch, and they can use the business objects reporting suite on top of HANA for reporting purpose. Or else, if they don't want to use the business objects reporting suite, they can use the inbuilt features of HANA for reporting.
So they have multiple options as of now.
Yes, exactly.
So when you're talking about BW on HANA, HANA is purely a database. They don't use any of the reporting or any other modeling features of it. It's purely database there.
Correct.
Absolutely. Using the BW, those three components of it for reporting and whatever, extraction, everything.
Correct.
So, but when you have everything built in HANA from scratch, then you could use BO.
Correct.
Feature.
Absolutely.
Okay. For a new person with, into SAP, I don't get this because I'm on the performance side. I only, end user thing.
Correct. So
thanks.
Hope you got clear now, right?
Yeah.
Good. So any questions, Swami? Are we good?